Hi, this is I Allegedly. Welcome back. I'm Dan, and I've got a good one for you because soon your food could have a warning label that says it's not fit for human consumption. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. I could have had 20 different titles in this video, and it's crazy because we're going to cover some wild topics that basically encompass a lot of different subjects that affect each and every one of us. First things first is Senate Bill 25 in Texas. And what they're saying is that certain foods that we like to eat, snack foods, Doritos, chips, things like that, that have bleached flour, synthetic dyes, certain oils that are not necessarily healthy, different salts, additives, preservatives, things like that that have been known to be harmful over a long period of time. They want to be able to take those products and put a warning label that it's recommended that you don't eat this, okay? And that humans don't eat it. So imagine that, and they want it put in a big enough area on your Doritos so it would say that it's visible for anybody that grabs the package. So, kind of crazy. Now, will this pass? Who knows? It would take a year to go into effect. But again, guys, as a kid, think of all the crap we ate, and it's one thing when you're a kid, I would do work for my mom and get extra money and go buy something. That's one thing, and it would always be crap, candy, sodas, RC colas, because they were just the best at the time. And they had a game that you could win cash on with RC cola as a kid, where you would basically drink the soda and scrape the bottle cap, and it could have figures in there. It could have like 50 cents, $1. It would be crazy, and you could win money. And there was no age limit. I would take those back to the liquor store, and they would give us the money. So, did my parents watch that? No. Did I go try to sell more stuff and eat more of that stuff? Yes, all the time. Now, the thing that we've seen is all these radical changes with RFK Jr. lately, where they're firing people and bringing more things to light, whether you agree with this or not. Now, this story is full circle. Anderson Cooper is on CNN, and he is one of the highest rated guys over there, but his ratings are dropping and he sucks, okay? So Anderson Cooper makes, are you listening, $18 million a year with his little show on CNN, okay? And we've all heard the crazy, things with the Vanderbilts, and his mother was Gloria Vanderbilt, by the way, and they had lots of do-re-mi when he grew up. So, is he a CIA operative? Does he work for the government? All this crazy stuff that you've heard about Anderson Cooper. Irrelevant, because the majority of his money comes from the pharmaceutical companies that help sponsor those shows. Now, here's the thing that you may not know. As a talent, if I go on a show or I get a show, they may say, wow, Dan's so amazing, we've got to pay him $75. How are we going to get that money? Well, what you do is you make it a sponsor pay for that, like they do with Anderson Cooper. See, a lot of guys like this are paid for by the pharmaceutical companies. I'm not going to name one so I don't get you get your panties in a bunch over it. But this is all full circle. Is this fair? If they're dictating policy or telling you to do something to your body, is that cool? I don't think so, okay? I argued about it and yelled about it and thought it was nuts. Notice the tide's a little higher today. The fish are jumping too, it's kind of cool. But with that being said, now, this is where this kind of turns full circle. It's not just, RFK Jr., Dan, he's a loon. People in Texas are psychos, Dan. They don't want you to have Doritos. How about Skittles, Dan? They want us to get rid of the Skittles, too. No, guys. No. Bernie Sanders and Angus King are two senators. They're both independents. Angus King is from Maine. Bernie is from Vermont. And they want to get rid of, now think about this, all media advertisers that makes pharmaceuticals advertise directly to the consumer. They want to get rid of all that. Now you can sit there and say, is that a big deal? Yeah, every single Main Street media, every single channel would be out of business literally overnight if they did this. They wouldn't have a revenue stream. They wouldn't be able to run anything because they would have no advertising. Now, look at all these shows, look at who they're sponsored by, look at your late night TV shows that have no ratings, the millions of dollars that the pharmaceutical companies pay, sponsor this stuff. This show sponsored by Pfizer. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. He wants to get rid of that. They want to get rid of the pharmaceutical drugs. Hey, does your boss yell at you? You have a sore shoulder? You got to take this drug, okay? And it'll get rid of that. Well, they want to get rid of that. And again, remember a day, I remember the days when they didn't have that stuff on TV. And, you know, living with a woman that had cancer, I'm telling you, it used to just be maddening because of certain things that were pushed and certain things that I was lucky enough to find out about, and so was she, that made her life better at times, were because of the pharmaceutical companies, okay? But they weren't advertised on TV. They were concoctions and things that doctors and bioscientists put together that made her life better. Now, if this goes through, which this would be insane. Now, I think that these politicians are all in the take, okay? And I think that every single one of these people gets paid through these different avenues, and you're going to see this never take place. That's just what I think. Because with that, they're not going to do this. It literally, overnight, you know, you would have ABC, CBS, NBC, everybody. I mean, MSNBC, Fox, they would all be done. It would all be done overnight with this because of this type of advertising. So I think it'd be great. I hate that stuff too, you know. All the Ozempic knockoffs and everything like that. All these people that are taking this stuff. I am privileged to have a friend in my life, the health ranger, that absolutely knows so much more than I will ever know and makes me want to not eat anything other than warm tea and, you know, certain organic vegetables, and that's it. But having him on my side and be able to ask questions had made me realize how some of the crap I was putting in my body was just that. It was harmful in every single way, shape, and form. You know, we live on pharmaceuticals, guys, right now. It's terrible. And being an older guy, it happens. Hey, take this, take that. Well, how do I get off this stuff? Oh, you don't. You know, my father died in 1999 and he had 21 prescriptions for his heart condition, his diabetes, everything that he was on right now. Now, my dad had 3 open heart surgeries in his lifetime, and he died a very young man. The point was that it was the pharmaceutical festival at his house when he passed. And I always thought that was awful, you know, and I thought, why? Why do you take all this stuff? Because this does this, and this makes me not nauseous, and I could go on for an hour. And you know you have people like that in your life. And once you get on that system, it's terrible. But again, should they be able to advertise this nonsense to us? I don't think so, you know. My great-nephews, my niece's kids, these kids love food, and that's the one thing. My daughter was raised eating very healthy, you know, going out to restaurants and eating a salad and having food cooked for her and what would you like cooked tonight. And then my son, who couldn't eat anything for 15 years of his life, wouldn't eat anything but chicken nuggets. And it was horrible, absolutely terrible. And stuff like that took its toll. And then he wanted to be an athlete and got in touch with somebody that said, wait a second, food is fuel, man. If you don't eat right, you're not going to run fast. You're going to hit the ball far. And he became, the thing that really did it for him was after baseball, he did cross country and literally would run 10 miles a day for warm-ups, 10, and then come home, study, and pass out. But you can't eat chicken nuggets and do that. So, real education. I don't think this is a bad thing. I think that because it's so politically charged, it'll never go through. It's a dream come true to talk about this stuff, but I think that you're going to see this just not go anywhere. What do you guys think about this? Would you eat a bag of Doritos? Now, I just can't eat that crap anymore right now as a result of this, so let me know what you think so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, we have seen so much happen in the bond market, and the stock market right now. But one thing you need to look at is getting yourself into precious metals with the instability that's going on globally right now. The best place to do that is #1 rated Patriot Gold Group. Call them today. Let them answer all your questions. 888-330-1431. You know, one thing that's been predicted is that some of these car companies are going to have to buy their own silver mines. This is unbelievable when you think about this. It could drive the price of silver to as high as $150 an ounce. You don't want to miss out on this. Contact #1 rated Patriot Gold Group today, 888-330-1431. #1 rated with Consumer Affairs for 9 years in a row. IRAs, 401ks backed by physical metals. Contact them today. Do it now before it's too late. You know, there's so much instability right now in business. People are having a very difficult time just to pay their bills. And one thing that we're seeing, and these numbers just keep going up and up and up, is the used car prices are being financed for more money. I'm telling you guys this right now. I am selling a couple cars right now, and they are free compared to what I paid for them. If you go into a dealership, you're going to get clipped and taken advantage of. These people that are financing cars at almost $30,000 for a used car is crazy, because people are then financing them for 6 years. The car is not worth that. The car will not be worth that if you drive moderately during that time, just, modestly. It's just terrible right now. So we are seeing delinquencies over 60 days. The next one they start looking for the car at 90 days is higher than it's ever been right now. This is terrible right now. And this is just a sign of the times. You can sit there and blame tariffs. You can blame anybody you want. People are not making the money right now that they made, a while ago. Things are more expensive. The thing about this, as inflation cools, which I totally believe it is, the problem with it is prices went through the moon. You have prices for real estate in some areas, like Scott Walters, that has a great real estate channel here, where before COVID, houses were $800,000 in a neighborhood, and now they're $1.8 million in his neighborhood. It is insanity right now. Your payment goes up through the roof. People cannot afford this, and that's what you're seeing over and over and over again right now. So many people that I've talked to that run a business right now are worried about keeping the employees. How are they going to keep them? Artificial intelligence is changing everything. And if you don't think it is, it absolutely is. I've had multiple contacts with companies I've dealt with since the first part of the week where I know I'm dealing with an AI bot and I'm not dealing with a human being. And again, guys, does this cost them money to do it? Absolutely it does. Is it going to save them money in the long run? Yes. Because the AI bot does not call in late, does not complain, does not need a doctor's appointment. I got to miss Thursday. None of that stuff. None of that. And that is taking a huge, huge toll on everything right now. So you won't believe this in a few years. Okay? You've got, a medallion company that was that's a taxi company in New York that was using social media to boost the stock price of their company and making fake stories. So using social media to talk great things about a company to bring up the price. That's illegal, guys, okay? You can sit there and have press releases and talk about great things, but you can't inflate things to where they're not real. That's a problem. Great story below on that. GM is going to start manufacturing more in the United States. They're going to put $4 billion into manufacturing in the United States. But let's face it, guys, manufacturing has taken a hit lately. And we're going to open up a factory right here in Dan's backyard. No, okay? It's not going to be done in a week from now. Trust me, I'm working on a new business right now that's moving at lightning speed. That is literally half the time that the competitors were trying to do for me. And it's taken months and months to get things done. And even though you want to write checks and get everything done, it takes time to get things right. When I was a screenwriter, the greatest thing that was said to me because hey, we want to change the scene, we want X, Y, Z to happen, we want the bad guy to say this and do this, and we want to introduce this person. Oh, I'll have that done for you tomorrow. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're writing a screenplay. I don't want it done fast, I want it done right. Do it right, okay? So you don't win awards, you don't get paid to getting it done fast. We want it done right. And that's the thing, is you have to get this stuff done right now. And that's very difficult. Some people can hang on, some people can't. You know, we talked last week about how these businesses are failing at such a record clip right now. It is horrible how many people, you know, don't make it 10 years, don't make it 5 years. And, you know, 22% that go out of business in the first year is awful. Awful figures. It's very, very sad that we have to deal with this. You know, Silver Airways halts operation with people. Think about it. You have a trip booked out of Tampa. You go down to the airline. Hey, I'm so excited. I'm going to come see you. We're flying Silver Airways. And then they go bankrupt on you with people left at the airport. You know, so unbelievable. Unbelievable. Couple things that are concerned. Eminent domain has taken a real problem where they want to build these 5-story high-rises. I made a short a few weeks ago about this, where they took an area in Tustin, California, and they made condos inside of what used to be the old go-kart track when we were kids, and then the batting cages. And now these people are building these 5-story condos that are just monstrosities, and they're awful, and they're terrible, and they're started over $900,000 for these things. It's insane. Well, what did they do this with this 175-year-old farm where they offered her $20 million, $40 million? No, I just said eminent domain. It's a great story below about how now we're just going to take it. It's going to take it. And then this person, this family, is going to get an absolute song compared to what would be realistic. So I hate stuff like that, guys. I really do. Because you can't fight progress, you can't fight City Hall. You can. And sometimes you need to have somebody step in and negotiate. You know, this is the thing that you have to understand about business and life. I don't know everything. And I always say, I'm a student of everything. I'm a student of learning, student of business. If I don't know it, I reach out to somebody better. It's like my health. Being around the medical space and being around doctors and things like that, you know, some of these fat asses that were doctors, I was like, God, you're really an unhealthy cardiologist talking about how to, you know, treat yourself. It's ridiculous to me. It was to me. But you have to get the knowledge. You have to get the advice. If you are ill, if you are sick, talk to people. Don't just sit there and say, oh, the status quo is X. And I'm telling you this, you know, my girlfriend had, you know, stage 4 cancer for a very long time and lived a very long time with that. And it was the constant process of getting through it and the quality of her life and making it as good as possible. It wasn't to drug herself up with every pharmaceutical, because the worst part about this is people like that need pain management and stuff like that. There's no such thing. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The junkies get that stuff. It's not for the patients. You know, I could talk for hours about this. You have to get the knowledge. If you need to raise money for your business, talk to people that do that and get advice. There's a lot of people out there that would love to talk to you about this stuff. And people go out in desperate times, borrow money the wrong way, to put fires out, to buy a car that's overpriced, to finance it too long, when it's the last thing they should be doing. The last thing that they should be doing. I have a buddy of mine that we sat down and did a little powwow on everything he owns that he should unload right now. And he's going to rate us about $11,000 for selling crap that oh my God, I don't even need this stuff. And he's getting rid of it. So look at all the sites, look at all the different places that you can go to. It's absolutely crazy right now. And it's a difficult time, but just, you don't get swallowed up by anything right now. Just don't, you know? I love this stuff. You know, I'm very distrustful of people. I just am, and I have a very good story to tell you guys. It's very long, and it'll take up an entire video someday about something that was done to me that was very bad. and we caught the people that did it, and they're going down for the count. I mean, they are done, and then they lied in court and did horrible things, and they're just finished. It's just a matter of time. And I don't care if it takes another 10 years of my life and $1 million, I will make sure that these people come to justice. And then they're gonna go to justice, if you know what I mean. So, the point is that there's a lot of crime out there. A lot of post offices getting robbed. The latest thing is packages. You get shipping from eBay and they're getting robbed all the time. Ray Diaz stepped up and bought a guitar, custom guitar. And he's like, okay, you know what, I want this. So he was told lies. Hey, listen, it fell off a barge. It was in the LA fires. The problem with this is it was all nonsense because he found it for sale on another site, the exact guitar. Another guy had a custom motorcycle and he was making it for somebody, and there was certain parts. You can read the story below. And the same thing happened. Hey, listen, yeah, that's just those LA fires. You know, I said, I'm in Iowa. What are you talking about? You know, and people lied about this stuff, and it's happening over and over again. So just get ready, guys. Just get ready. You know, final thing that we've talked so much about, you know, is this buy now, pay later thing. I had a great article sent to me where people, think about this, 10% of the people that have good credit, over a 720 FICO score, use buy now, pay later. 10%. 60% of the people have less than a 600 credit score, meaning that have horrible credit. The majority of them, 70%, make under $50,000 a year. But they can get I'm telling you guys, you want to buy something and you can't afford it, they'll give you the money for this. Great article, family that had $30,000 in buy now, pay later debt and $120,000 in credit card debt. They're just done. They made 180 grand a year between the two of them, and they were just completely upside down with this. And that was just a horrible way to live. So, you know, let me know what you think about this. Oh, final thing. A woman in New York City was digging through her backyard and found a cell phone buried in her backyard. And you can sit there and go, that's weird. Yeah, it is. But it's also to tape the house. You know, they're casing your joint. You know, you come out, you try to cover the back of a house, figure out what's going on, the people's patterns. And with that, you can then say, oh my gosh, you know, she's always gone Tuesday afternoon. Let's go rob it. The greatest robbery I ever heard was a very good friend of mine. Across the street from his house was a woman that lived by herself. And one day a moving truck pulled up and cleaned out the entire house in Tustin, California. And that happened. And guess what? The woman didn't know these people. It's complete theft. Just craziness. Hit the like button, subscribe. Email me hello@iallegedly.com. Stay safe. Be leery of everything. Just don't put yourself in a situation that's dangerous. Don't be a looky-loo. You don't need it right now, okay? Trust me. I have more people writing me. If you are on my private channel, I'm gonna tell you a couple cop stories and lawyer stories that are nuts right now about how you need to stay away from everything, okay? Be kind, rewind. I'll see you soon. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, okay? hello@iallegedly is the email. See you soon.